At the end of the last section, we were looking at this data set. You were given a mostly unlabeled frequency histogram, like the one shown, and you did the refiguring necessary to turn it into a density histogram for the same set. Here is the unlabeled frequency histogram. Here is our version of the density histogram. We have already talked about how to find bar heights, so now let's talk about two formatting issues in putting the whole thing together. Issue number 1, labeling the axis. In a frequency histogram, the vertical axis could either be labeled frequency, or even better, number of quarterbacks, from the data set we used. In creating a density histogram, however, we'd have to change it to something else. Since the numbers across the bottom axis represent yards, the new label for the density histogram's vertical axis is percent per yard. If the number across the bottom had represented miles, the new label for the vertical axis would have been percent per mile. The vertical axis of the density histogram always represents a percent per unit, and all you have to do to get it right is figure out what the units in question are by understanding the numbers across the bottom of the horizontal axis. Here's a little exercise to figure out how to label the vertical axis in a frequency histogram and a density histogram from different sets of data. You don't have to use your math skills and figure any bar heights on this. Simply figure out how to label the vertical axis based upon what the column headings of the data set say. Here are 2 examples to get you started. Now you try it. Look at the next 4 data sets and see if you can come up with the labels for the vertical axis in a frequency histogram and a density histogram for the information. Then check your answers against what we came up with.